Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought it might be worth more than just a cent? Imagine stumbling upon a 1975 USA 1-cent coin, commonly overlooked and tossed into change jars across the country, and learning that one of these coins has a face value appraised at an astonishing $269, a jaw-dropping amount that turns an ordinary piece of copper into a collector's treasure and an icon of numismatic history. Welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving into the incredible journey, facts, myths, and true value behind the 1975 1-cent coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, enthusiasts, and everyday Americans alike who dream of turning pocket change into fortune. And what makes this particular year's penny so captivating isn't just its modest origins or its Lincoln Memorial reverse design, but the multitude of stories, production quirks, and rare errors that have caused some examples of this coin to skyrocket in value, sending ripples through coin shows and auction houses worldwide. So whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just enjoys the thrill of a good story involving unexpected riches, you'll find the legacy of the 1975 penny not only fascinating but also incredibly important in the context of American coinage. And to truly understand why this coin stands out, we have to examine every angle, from the metallurgical composition to the mintage numbers, mint marks, die variations, historical backdrop of the mid-70s economic situation, and more, starting with the fact that in 1975 the U.S. Mint produced over 5 billion pennies between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, yet what sets apart the ones worth hundreds of dollars are often the tiniest differences: a double die here, a misaligned planchet there, or even a coin struck with an incorrect die alignment that results in visual anomalies not immediately noticeable to the untrained eye, but incredibly valuable once confirmed by professional grading agencies such as PCGS or NGC. And what collectors have found particularly exciting about the 1975 cent is that certain specimens exhibit strong doubling in the date and lettering, or feature off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks that appear like raised ridges across Lincoln's face or jacket, and even rare coins struck on foreign planchets or experimental materials that were never meant to be released, all of which contribute to the astounding valuations that sometimes come from a simple coin roll hunt or inherited family collection. And speaking of valuations, it's not just the physical errors that raise eyebrows, it's also about rarity, condition, and provenance, because a 1975 penny in mint state condition, particularly one graded MS67 or higher, can already be valued far above face value due to scarcity at such high grades, and if it carries a recognized error, that value increases exponentially, with auction records showing several sales of such coins fetching hundreds of dollars, making headlines in collector circles and inspiring a new generation to revisit their loose change with a magnifying glass and fresh curiosity. And while the majority of circulated 1975 pennies are still worth 1 cent, it's the thrill of the chase that keeps the buzz alive, especially when there's documented evidence of certified coins selling for upwards of $269, pushing the boundaries of what people believed possible with such a common coin. And the deeper you dig into the world of 1975 pennies, the more you discover layers of complexity that even seasoned collectors continue to debate, such as the elusive 1975 S-proof varieties which, while never struck for circulation, occasionally escape into the wild and are distinguished by their mirror-like finishes and sharp relief, and in rare cases errors on these proof coins, like a missing mint mark, an improperly polished die, or strike-through errors where foreign material interferes with the stamping process, create truly one-of-a-kind specimens that collectors will pay big money for. And then there are the fascinating rumors and urban legends that give even more mystique to this coin's reputation, with some speculating that a small batch of 1975 pennies were accidentally struck using older or mismatched dies from previous years, creating transitional errors or hybrid coins that blur the lines between established types. And while no official records confirm such an event, the mystery surrounding unverified anomalies continues to attract speculation and drives up interest at coin expos and online auction platforms, where bidders from around the globe compete to own even the slightest variation that ties back to the famed 1975 minting. And as you follow the trail from collector forums to historical archives, from eBay listings to professional coin shows, it becomes clear that the 1975 penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol of how seemingly insignificant artifacts from everyday life can become valuable pieces of a larger puzzle. And whether you're examining the copper to zinc transition timeline that came shortly after this coin's release or digging into the inflation and economic pressures that led to changes in minting practices, every angle reinforces the importance of preserving and understanding these coins not only for their financial value but also their role in American economic storytelling. and as prices for top-grade examples continue to rise, driven by online interest, social media buzz, and the occasional viral post about a lucky discovery, it's never been a better time to explore your pocket change and ask yourself, could I be holding one of these legendary 1975 pennies right now? And if so, how can I confirm its value? The answer begins with education, tools like digital microscopes and coin reference guides, a community of fellow enthusiasts eager to help, and certified grading services that can unlock the true market potential of what might seem like just a copper coin but is actually a small metallic ticket to unexpected wealth. And with the growing trend of coin collecting merging with viral content across platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, the fame of coins like the 1975 1-cent piece is only set to grow as more and more people join the hunt, driven by the dream of finding that one elusive error coin tucked away in a forgotten jar or inherited shoebox of change. So as we bring this incredible journey to a close, remember to take a second look at every coin you handle, because sometimes history, mystery, and monetary magic come in the tiniest of packages. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most intriguing cents, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss another story that turns everyday objects into treasures. Your next great discovery could be just one coin away. Next. Today we dive into a coin that looks ordinary but hides a story worth far more than its face value, the 2007 1-cent coin, a coin that, under specific conditions and because of rare and unusual errors, is reported to be valued as high as $71, a mind-blowing leap from its original worth of just a penny. So let's peel back the layers and unravel the fascinating tale behind this 2007 Lincoln Memorial cent minted in Denver, a coin that many collectors overlooked for years until numismatic experts and dedicated coin hunters began reporting anomalies that didn't just spark interest, they ignited a full-blown treasure hunt across America's coin jars, cash registers, and old piggy banks. And while the 2007 penny may seem indistinguishable from billions of others at first glance, what sets certain specimens apart are striking errors that transform them into valuable rarities. Beginning with one of the most talked about types of coin errors in the numismatic community, die clashes, which occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, causing the impression of design elements from one side of the coin to appear faintly on the other. And in the case of the 2007 penny, some examples have shown ghost-like images of the Lincoln Memorial appearing behind Lincoln's portrait or partial outlines of Lincoln's head bleeding through the memorial's pillars, an error that dramatically boosts the coin's desirability and value among collectors because of how visually intriguing and rare it is. But that's just the beginning, because another major type of error tied to the 2007 cent is the infamous off-center strike, which happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned between the dies during the minting process, resulting in a coin that's not centered and may have part of the design missing or pushed to one side. And depending on the degree of off-centering and how well the date and mint mark remain visible, such coins can command values far above the average, with some off-center 2007 cents ranging from minor shifts to dramatic 80% off-center strikes being auctioned for $50 to $71, and then we move to yet another prized error, double dies, particularly those involving the obverse side of the coin, which refers to a misalignment or doubling in the hubbing process that results in visible doubling in areas such as the date, the word liberty, or the motto I in God we trust. And while double die errors are relatively well known across various years of U.S. coinage, examples on 2007 cents are rarer and therefore command strong interest, with the most extreme doubling errors resulting in magnified letters that look as though they're shadowed or ghosted, visible even without a microscope. And speaking of doubling, we must also consider the lesser-known mechanical doubling, which occurs when the die bounces slightly during the strike and causes a flattened, shelf-like doubling that's less valuable than true hub doubling but still collectible when coupled with other anomalies. And let's not forget about die cracks and cuds, errors where the die itself has started to break or erode, leaving raised lines, blobs, or areas of missing design on the coin. And while die cracks can range from thin lines across Lincoln's face to massive breaks extending across the coin, the presence of such features adds to the uniqueness and collectability of any 2007 penny, especially when these flaws intersect major design elements like Lincoln's eye or the pillars of the memorial. But arguably one of the most compelling errors associated with this penny is the improperly mixed alloy or planchet error, where the coin either appears to have a different shade, darker or lighter than usual, or may weigh less or more than a standard 2.5 grams due to composition anomalies. And these planchet errors may result from leftover blanks from previous years or foreign coin stock mistakenly fed into the U.S. Mint. Presses, producing cents with a silvery appearance, overly shiny luster, or unusual textures that alert sharp-eyed collectors to potential windfalls, and in rare circumstances, these planchet errors combined with striking errors can yield hybrid mistakes, double die on wrong stock, or off-center strikes on incorrect planchets, pushing the coin's value even further into the upper tiers of the $71 estimate. And of course, no examination of valuable coin errors would be complete without exploring mint mark issues, where some 2007 D coins exhibit repunched mint marks, RPMs, showing remnants of a previous D slightly offset or doubled under the main mint mark, a subtle yet desirable flaw that links to older hubbing techniques and speaks to a transitional period in minting standards. And though mint marks today are typically machine-applied and less prone to such mistakes, legacy processes and die reuse sometimes create these anomalies, and because RPMs are often overlooked by casual observers, they represent one of the stealthier sources of value for the sharp collector. And beyond all these individual errors, let's consider how combinations of these issues exponentially increase value. A 2007 D penny that is off-center, has a visible die crack, shows doubling on the obverse, and comes on an underweight planchet would be so statistically rare that it would be a dream find for any coin enthusiast, possibly breaking past the $71 valuation. And it's also worth noting that condition and grading play a major role in how errors are valued. Coins in mint state, MS, condition with well-preserved surfaces, even with flaws, are inherently more desirable than those showing heavy circulation, scratches, or corrosion. And when error coins are certified by reputable agencies like PCGS or NGC, their value often skyrockets, as authentication adds credibility and removes the guesswork for buyers and sellers alike. So even if two 2007 D cents have the same type of error, the one in better condition or with grading slab can fetch a premium price. And while you might wonder how such coins escape the US Mint's stringent quality control, the sheer volume of coins produced, over 3.7 billion 2007 D pennies, means that even a tiny margin of error results in thousands of flawed coins slipping into circulation. And that's where the treasure hunt begins. In the spare change of millions of Americans, as collectors armed with magnifying glasses and digital scales scan every coin they come across, knowing that one peculiar strike, one odd discoloration, one ghost image or misaligned edge could signal a payday far above face value. And that's the true allure of error coins like the 2007 D cent. It turns routine transactions into potential discovery moments, turns ordinary people into treasure hunters, and turns simple copper-plated zinc into a story worth telling, a tale of machine mishaps, human oversight, and numismatic luck. And while you may pass over pennies without a second thought, those in the know understand that certain dates and mint marks like this one are gold mines in disguise, especially when catalogued in auctions or sold through coin dealers who recognize the true rarity at play. And it's important to realize that market values also depend on collector demand, and as awareness of these errors grows thanks to communities, online coin forums, YouTube channels, and social media groups, so too does the demand for unique specimens of coins like the 2007 D, meaning its value could increase in the coming years as more people enter the hobby and as fewer flawless examples remain, especially as circulation wear diminishes their numbers over time. So if you're new to coin collecting or just curious about what's sitting in your pocket, take a close look at any 2007 D penny you find, use a jeweler's loupe or microscope to check for doubling, weigh it to check for planchet anomalies, examine the mint mark, inspect for cracks, clashes, or off-center strikes, because even though millions were made, the unique ones are exceedingly rare, and among them might be one with the right combination of flaws that's not just worth $71 but much, much more. And if that isn't enough reason to start looking at your spare change more carefully, then remember this: coin collecting is not just a hobby but a blend of history, art, economics, and luck, where stories like that of the 2007 D cent inspire people to dig deeper, learn more, and stay curious. So keep searching, keep checking, and who knows, the next time you find a penny, you might just find a piece of minting history that makes headlines, makes collectors envious, and makes your wallet a little heavier. Thanks for joining us today in exploring the incredible story behind a 1-cent coin that's anything but ordinary. And if you found this video fascinating or you've got a 2007 D penny you want to check, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin stories, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next treasure hunt in your change. Last today's deep dive, we unravel the astonishing story of the 2018 D 1-cent coin, a humble penny minted in Denver that has unexpectedly captured the attention of the numismatic world not just for its modern appeal but because of a wide range of unique mint errors and anomalies that have led certain examples of this coin to fetch as much as $36 on the secondary market, a massive leap from its original value and a testament to how minting flaws, collector demand, and pure luck can collide to create a miniature fortune hidden in plain sight. So whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who found a shiny 2018 cent in your spare change, sit back as we explore the numerous reasons why this coin is worth far more than a cent, starting with the staggering number of these coins that were produced. Billions of them rolled off the presses at the Denver Mint in 2018 as part of the Shield Reverse Lincoln Cent series introduced in 2010, and while the vast majority of them were struck correctly and entered circulation as intended, a small but fascinating percentage escaped quality control due to mechanical issues, human oversight, or die fatigue, creating opportunities for collectors to identify and acquire error coins that have since skyrocketed in value. And one of the most common but still highly prized mistakes found on the 2018 penny is the double die error, particularly on the obverse side of the coin where the motto "In God We Trust," the word liberty, or the date and mint mark show signs of doubling, which occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been impressed more than once out of alignment, causing a shadow-like effect or duplicated features that become highly sought after by collectors. And while not all double dies are created equal, the more prominent and visible the doubling, especially to the naked eye, the more valuable the coin becomes, with some sharply doubled 2018 examples commanding upwards of $20 to $36 depending on their condition and clarity of the error. But that's just the beginning of the rabbit hole, because another intriguing mint error is the off-center strike, where the planchet, or blank coin, is not properly aligned within the minting press, resulting in a coin with part of the design missing and a crescent of blank space along the rim. And the value of these off-center errors increases dramatically when the date and mint mark are still visible, allowing the coin to be easily identified and verified as an authentic 2018 issue, and in rare cases, collectors have reported examples with up to 80% off-center strikes that retain critical identifying features, making them both rare and extremely desirable. And then there are die break errors such as cuds and die cracks, which appear when the die used to strike the coins becomes damaged or begins to degrade due to extensive use. And these flaws result in raised lines or blobs of metal that interrupt the coin's design, often creating spectacular visual distortions like large raised areas over Lincoln's portrait or across the shield design on the reverse. And since these types of errors are highly visible and easy to identify even without magnification, they tend to attract casual and serious collectors alike, and when found in uncirculated or mint state condition, they can significantly exceed the typical $36 valuation, especially if the break is large or located in a dramatic position, such as across Lincoln's face or eye, which adds both character and rarity to the piece. And speaking of the reverse, the shield design itself has been subject to a variety of striking issues including die clashes, where the dies strike each other without a planchet in between, resulting in ghost-like impressions of the opposite design appearing faintly on the coin, such as parts of Lincoln's head appearing behind the shield or traces of the shield appearing beneath Lincoln's portrait. And while such clashes are relatively rare, they represent one of the most visually compelling error types and have fetched impressive prices at auction. And let's not forget about struck-through errors, where foreign material such as grease, wire, or fabric debris is trapped between the die and the planchet during the strike, causing portions of the design to be missing, blurred, or filled in unusual ways. And when these errors occur on major details like Lincoln's face or the shield stripes, they become instantly recognizable and highly collectible, with many collectors willing to pay a premium for such clear evidence of the chaotic nature of the minting process. And another underappreciated anomaly is the floating roof error on the reverse side of the coin, where due to die deterioration or improper hubbing, the roof of the shield appears disconnected or misaligned, giving it the appearance of floating in midair. And while this error is subtle, it's a favorite among collectors of modern cent variations, particularly when it's paired with other errors such as die cracks or doubling, adding compound value to the coin. And while many people assume that modern coins have fewer errors due to advancements in minting technology, the truth is that high-speed presses and mass production often introduce their own unique problems, including machine doubling, planchet errors, and edge defects, all of which can increase the value of a 2018 cent depending on severity and clarity. And there have even been reports of transitional planchet errors, where a coin is accidentally struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, resulting in pennies that appear silvery or weigh less than the standard 2.5 grams due to being struck on dime or foreign planchets. and these errors are extremely rare but incredibly valuable, often selling for hundreds of dollars, and while it's unlikely, the sheer volume of coins produced means that statistically, some 2018 cents may carry such unexpected characteristics, and another often overlooked but potentially valuable error involves the mint mark itself, repunched mint marks, or RPMs, which were more common in older coins but can still appear due to mechanical slippage or repeated punching, and while these are rare on modern machine-punched coins, there are instances where 2018 cents exhibit minor doubling or shadowing of the mint mark, which can be especially valuable when confirmed under magnification by reputable grading services. And speaking of grading, it's important to understand that condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's final value, and coins with visible errors in mint state condition, usually MS60 or higher, will always be worth more than circulated or worn examples, and when authenticated and slabbed by leading services like PCGS or NGC, their market value often rises significantly due to the assurance of quality and rarity provided by professional verification, and collectors especially prize error coins that combine strong eye appeal with dramatic errors and top-tier preservation. And while $36 might be the average ceiling for some error types on a circulated 2018 penny, mint state examples with bold errors can surpass that number, especially when sold at auction or through specialty dealers who understand the nuances of modern minting errors. And let's not underestimate the power of collector demand, which has surged in recent years thanks to social media groups, online marketplaces, and YouTube channels like this one, where awareness of error types and potential value has sparked a renewed interest in coin hunting. And as more collectors become familiar with the specific traits that make a 2018 cent valuable, demand for error examples rises, and supply inevitably shrinks, especially for those in pristine condition. And with more people hoarding coins or submitting them for grading, the best examples are likely to disappear from circulation altogether, making the hunt even more exciting and potentially more rewarding. And it's also worth mentioning the role of novelty and storytelling in coin value, because even among error coins, those with the most dramatic visual features tend to command the most attention. So whether it's a massive off-center strike that leaves half of Lincoln's head missing, a die crack that makes it look like Lincoln has a scar, or a shield that appears warped or melting due to strike-through errors, these unique features don't just appeal to traditional numismatists, they also capture the imagination of casual collectors, gift buyers, and even artists who see these coins as miniature sculptures shaped by accident and history. And when a coin like the 2018 cent carries a visible and unique flaw, it becomes not just a collectible but a conversation piece, a window into the complex and sometimes unpredictable world of coin production. And when combined with a story, like being found in a roll of bank pennies or picked up off the sidewalk, the value takes on an emotional element as well. And that's where even modest errors can lead to surprising returns, especially when timed right in the collector market or featured in a viral listing or video. And the truth is that we are still discovering new varieties and errors on coins like the 2018 cent thanks to high-resolution photography, digital forums, and collector networks that constantly analyze and share new finds. So it's entirely possible that new types of errors, such as interior die breaks, mint mark anomalies, or planchet inconsistencies, will continue to surface, pushing interest and prices higher for certain specimens.